Hi, I'm Sophie.
And I'm Kate, and we're the hosts of Talking in Common podcast.
Welcome to Being.
Josh, we had a great conversation with you just now, and we would really love to give our audience some key takeaways from the wisdom that you shared with us.
So let's get into the principles and practices for improving the mental health of yourself and others.
Can you start by sharing with us what you believe are the three key factors to not only improving our own mental health, but to those around us?
I think three really important things are to look at trust as a concept and something to work towards. Focus and people's capacity to contribute as levers we can pull to help people feel better, and to encourage depth over width with our engagement in this kind of stuff. So,
cool. So let's start with you telling us about the importance of trust.
All interventions, all help is relying on the person trusting the people that are helping them. So if you have all the answers but the person doesn't trust you, it's very difficult to get them to lean into the kind of help you're trying to give them to start off with. But you have a responsibility as someone who wants to help people to try and build that trust between you and the people that you're trying to help as well. And that usually takes a bit of time and effort and consideration.
Now let's move on to your ability to focus and also your contribution.
It is really difficult to have deep, meaningful relationships if you really struggle to focus.
Yeah.
Some people struggle to focus for a variety of different reasons. Some of them they need treatment and help for, and some it's habits that we get into of looking at our phones too much or wanting things to be too exciting and struggling to sit with people or with things for long enough to really give our time and our energy to them in a deep and meaningful way. And so if you're looking to contribute to someone, one easy way is to give them your time fully and give them your attention and keep that up with consistency over time. And I think that's a really beautiful gift to support people, but it's also great practice in your relationships and in your work and anything that you're doing to really try and cultivate a capacity to focus deeply and pay attention.
It's very true that undivided attention, if someone gives you undivided attention, you feel so valued and seen. Whereas if, you're having a good conversation with someone and they pick up their phone, you just feel like they want to be somewhere else, or, immediately you kind of lose that trust or value in the conversation.
Yeah, it definitely makes things difficult. And it's hard because you are pulled in a lot of different directions. There is a lot going on. So you kind of have to consciously say, I'm going to sit here and focus. I think if you make the conscious decision, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah. And so number 3, the importance of depth over width in relationships, community and supportive environments. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
It's really just valuing that stuff that we just talked about in practice.
Yeah.
And if you get 1,000 tiny little interactions from 1,000 strangers, it's probably not as valuable and as meaningful as 1,000 relationships or 1,000 interactions over time with someone or with a couple of someones. And it might not look as sexy and exciting to be in someone's life and be around someone for a long time and pay attention through all of those things. But that depth of understanding, there's no real shortcut to get there. And so I think we incentivize width with all the things that make people feel good and popular on the internet and those sorts of things. And it's quite easy to be in touch with a lot of people because we've got quite a transactional relationship with all that kind of stuff. But if we can encourage people to value that depth and reward it and look for it and try and build it, then I think people will feel more supported, more seen, they'll be happier, and rewarding that kind of behavior and those kinds of principles, I think, as opposed to how many people you can touch in a shallow way, is something that would really move the needle for a lot of people's mental health.
So focusing on quality over quantity.
Absolutely, 100%. And understanding that it means a lot to have that in your life. So value it as someone who's giving it, but also value it if it's in your life, and take the time to thank people for it as well. Like, be appreciative of those relationships because they really are hard to replace.
Thank you so much. We've loved having you with us today. I'm off to implement more trust in my life, more supportive environment.
Yes.
and focus. Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much, Josh.
It was my pleasure. It's good.